Hello there guys, welcome to another my live video. So big breaking news now in regards to Victor Lindelof. It has confirmed that Victor Lindelof has signed a new long-term contract with Manchester United, which will keep him at the club until 2024, and he's also an option of a further year. So in the aspect Victor Lindelof has signed a new 5-year deal with Manchester United. But I am very ecstatic about this news. Obviously we do know that Victor Lindelof is a very imperative player. I think now he's in his third season as a Manchester United player. Obviously he has started, he's played every game this season alongside Harry Maguire. But I'm very glad, he has committed his long-term future in Manchester United. Victor Lindelof is the second player this week, to commit his future at the football club. Obviously, we got Victor Lindelof back under the Jose Mourinho era. Obviously, we did pay around £31 million from Benfica, and since his arrival from Benfica, he has made 74 appearances for the club in all competitions, and he has still, got a lot of development in him. He is 25 years of age. But analysing, his Manchester United career so far, I think, he has been mainly consistent. I think he did struggle in his first season, when he first arrived at the football club, didn't really settle in his first season. But I thought Victor Lindelof in his second season, really stepped up to the plate, and there was vast improvements in his game. And I think mainly so far this season, he's replicated, what he did in his second season. I did say prior to the Leicester game, it was a bit below par, in the last couple of games. But I thought, he really stepped up to the plate against Leicester. But I think, Lindelof is flourishing in this Manchester United squad. And obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice centre-backs are Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire. So another player now has committed their future at Manchester United, and he has signed a new 5-year deal and that. But like I did say, we have sorted quite a few contract renewals out now. Obviously, we do know earlier on this week it confirmed that David De Gea had signed a 4-year contract, with an option of a 5th year. Obviously, he's now the highest paid goalkeeper in the world, because obviously De Gea is on between around 350 to 375 grand a week. He's also the highest paid at the football club, so it's good that David De Gea committed his long-term future in Manchester United. Obviously, we give quite a few players, new contracts, that were in there last year of their deal. Obviously, we did De Gea back on Monday. Obviously, we did it with Martial back in January, because he signed a new 5-year deal at the football club. Obviously, Rashford was in the final year of his deal, when we give him his new long-term contract. And obviously, we give other players, new long-term contracts. Obviously, as well last season, we give McTominay new contracts. Obviously, we give Jones a new long-term contract last season. Obviously, Young signed a new 1-year extension last season. Juan Mata earlier on in the summer, signed a 2-year contract with an option of a further year. But yeah, we have now started, contract renewals out, which is very good. I think it was bad business in the aspect, that we give, Young a new 1-year extension. It was bad that we give Jones a new long-term contract. Obviously, we did give Small a new long-term contract, but now obviously, he's been loaned out to Rome. But yeah, we have sorted quite a few contracts out now. So that's very good news in regards to Victor Lindelof. And I didn't expect that news just to come out. I've just read it in Sky Sports, and it says, he's signed a new contract with the club until 2024. Like I did say, Man United have got a big game tomorrow evening in the Europa League against FC Mestania. Obviously, it's a game that Manchester United do need to win, but in this particular game, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got the chance, to go with the youth. And as I did say on my previous video, I watched some of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference, and he's confirmed, he's going to start the youth and that, which is very good. And I'll credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the aspect, that he has, got a lot of trust with him and his young upcoming players. And obviously, we have got quite a lot of injuries. As we've got quite a lot of injuries at the moment. So obviously, in that aspect, anyway, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we'll have to make alterations. We haven't enjoyed a great start to the season so far. Obviously, we've won 2, we've drawn 2, and of course, we have lost 1. So in that aspect, we've registered 8 points from a possible 15. But it was good that we did get back to winning ways last weekend against Leicester, winning by 1 goal to 0. And, if you want to take into account, the amount of injuries we had, you can say, it was a good result, because I did say, Leicester have enjoyed a pretty decent start to the season. It was also good, that we did keep a clean sheet in that game. So hopefully now we can go on a winning run, and obviously, we can go on a winning run run and that. And like I did say, we've got to win as many games as we can. If we do want to keep our hopes up, for that top four this season. But like I said, I think analysing our squad, I think it's definitely good enough, to win the Europa League. Don't forget, we did it a couple of years ago under the Jose Mourinho era. We did beat Ajax by 2 goals to 0. But yeah, definitely Solskjaer, will be making alterations for the game tomorrow. As I did update you on my previous video, it has confirmed that Daniel James, Anthony Martial, Paul Pogba and Luke Shaw were all absent from training this morning, I think, at Carrington. Daniel James is the recent absentee. He sustained a knock in the 1-0 victory against Leicester, did Daniel James. So it's confirmed, he will not be playing tomorrow against FC Mestania. But analysing Daniel James's performances so far, I think he's done really, really well at Manchester United, and I think he has, become fruition. Obviously, he has scored 3 goals so far this season. Obviously, Daniel James is a joint top goal scorer alongside Marcus Rashford, because I think Rashford has 3 goals so far this season. But Daniel James is only 21 years of age. He has still got a lot of development in him, and I think there's still improvements. Don't get me wrong, needed in his game. But I think he's had a fantastic start to his Manchester United career, and I think he can. His Man United tenure, can definitely become successful in that. So a very, very reliable player. But yeah, he will be rested because he sustained a knock. I think it's actually an ankle injury, something he has sustained. But Solskjaer's confirmed he will not be playing tomorrow. In regards to Paul Pogba, we do know he missed the game at the weekend against Leicester. Obviously, he's been out with an ankle injury as Paul Pogba, and we do see the difference in that midfield. When you do take Paul Pogba out the equation. But I think hopefully, Paul Pogba, and Anthony Martial, can regain full fitness, for the game against West Ham on Sunday. Because I think some more players are expected to recover from injury, by the game on Sunday against West Ham. And I do believe anyway, Solskjaer is going to probably consider resting certain some imperative players anyway, for the game on Sunday and that, because we do know that's a big game on Sunday away at West Ham. In regards to Anthony Martial, obviously he's actually missed the last 2 games, just like Luke Shaw has. But we do know Martial is out with a thigh injury. Obviously, I think before he sustained that thigh injury, I think he did well at the beginning of the season, Anthony Martial. And I do believe if he can avoid any more injuries, and he can keep the consistency up, and I think he can score from at least between 15 to 20 goals this season. Can Anthony Martial? Obviously, it got confirmed at the start of the season. He's playing in that number 9 role, so he's obviously playing more centrally, and he's in that aspect he's comparable to Rashford, because obviously both players can both play centrally. They can both play out wide. But I do believe Rashford will get more chances to play centrally, because obviously he's played in that central position in the last 2 games. Obviously, he's been full in Anthony Martial's role due to Anthony Martial's absence and all that. But I think Rashford, on a regular basis this season, probably will end up playing on that flank, because Martial looks more effective in that central position. But Martial's had a fantastic start to this season. He does primarily play off the left or wide and on the left, but I think he looks more effective in that central position, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Luke Shaw now, we definitely know that Luke Shaw's not playing tomorrow. I don't think Luke Shaw, will be fit enough, to play at the weekend against West Ham. So hopefully, he can be back for the game against Arsenal at the end of the month. And again, Luke Shaw is a very, very imperative player. Don't forget, Luke Shaw's, I think this is now his 5th season as a Manchester United player, if I'm right. Obviously, he's been mainly consistent, analysing the majority of his career. Like I said, he's had some rough patches. Obviously, before he sustained his hamstring injury, he hasn't had a great start to this season, but he won the double player of the season last season. Obviously, that was reflecting on his impressive performances. But yeah, Luke Shaw is definitely out. Obviously, in the last 2 games, Ashley Young has been playing at that left back position. Obviously, he's been full in Luke Shaw's role and that. And to be fair, I'll credit Ashley Young in the aspect I thought he did well in the game against Leicester. But Ashley Young could possibly, play in this game tomorrow against FC Astana, or could even participate, if he doesn't start the game. But he has captained the side in the last 2 games. We've got some good news, though, in regards to Diego Dalot and Jesse Lingard. I think, they have now returned back to training. Obviously, Diego Dalot has recently, been out with a groin problem. Obviously, Diego Dalot has not yet made an appearance for Manchester United this season. So Dalot, actually, could be in line to start in this game. So maybe in that aspect, Wan-Bissaka, could be rested, until Sunday for the game against West Ham. Obviously, Diego Dalot is one of our backup options, and Diego Dalot, like I said, he's only been at Man United, since last summer. I think he did play a couple of games throughout pre-season, but yeah, it's confirmed, he's back in training. So he's he's basically, fit enough to play. And Jesse Lingard's recently, been out with illness. Don't forget, he's been out with illness. Obviously, he missed the game against Leicester and that. Obviously, we've got other injuries. We've got Eric Bailly, who's out until till the new year with a knee injury. Obviously, don't forget Fosu Mensah is out for quite a long time as well. Obviously, we've got Lee Grant out with injury. So we have got quite a few injury concerns in the team. But yeah, Solskjaer's confirmed in his press conference, he is going with the young players tomorrow. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did a short in his press conference that Mason Greenwood, will be playing tomorrow evening. So he'll be making... So he will be making his first start of the season, Mason Greenwood, from the start, because he's not yet started a game from the start of this season. So far this season, Mason Greenwood has made 4 substitute appearances. I'm surprised, he didn't even participate in the game against Leicester. But yeah, it confirmed not too long ago that, Solskjaer's considering, giving Mason Greenwood, more of a prominent role at the football club. Obviously, because I think recently Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, was irritated, with Marcus Rashford, recent performances. Because Rashford, this season, hasn't been to his best. He hasn't performed to the same sort of extent as how Daniel James, Martial, Bissaka and Harry Maguire have performed. But I'd still say that Rashford is a long-term solution for Manchester United. But yeah, Solskjaer did say he's considering giving Mason Greenwood more of a prominent role. Obviously, Mason Greenwood is only 17 years of age and he's demanding more playing time anywhere. Obviously, he only made his debut last season for the football club, did Greenwood. Obviously, it was in the 2-0 home defeat to Cardiff at the end of last season, where Greenwood, did make his full debut. But Solskjaer assured anyway at the start of the season that he would get more opportunities this season. So it's his turn now, to fulfill that number 9 role. But he definitely will be playing tomorrow evening, which is very, very good. Obviously, Chong, he may not start, but I think, he could be involved in the game. Chong, obviously, he made his first appearance of the season, but obviously, by coming on, it was a substitute appearance, he came on in the 1-0 victory over Leicester, did Chong. Obviously, Chong is only 19 years of age. Don't forget, he's committed his future at Man United, at least for this season, because obviously, Chong earlier on in the summer, received loan offers from PSV in his former club Feyenoord. But Chong had turned these offers down. Solskjaer said the same thing of what he said in regards to Mason Greenwood, that Chong will be assured more first team opportunities this season. But Chong as well did really, really well throughout pre-season. We do know that he is a right winner. He recently said the other week that he had been in negotiations with the football club over a new long-term contract. But yeah, and also Ole Gunnar Solskjaer assured that who will be playing tomorrow evening. He's definitely confirmed that Alex Tuanzebe will be playing tomorrow. Obviously Alex Tuanzebe, despite the fact that Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof are our first choice centre backs, I think Solskjaer's confirmed that it got confirmed at the start of the season that Tuanzebe should still be a big part of the squad this season. We do know that he's a defender. Obviously he was saying quite a few things throughout the press conference. Alex Tuanzebe, obviously he's got that experience now, because obviously he was on loan with Aston Villa last season, was Alex Tuanzebe in that. So in that aspect he has gained some experience, like I said, and so he did return to Man United earlier on in the summer. So he's going to be starting tomorrow. Also Romero, he's going to be starting tomorrow. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's also confirmed this. Obviously Romero is our second choice goalkeeper, obviously behind David De Gea. So yeah, I think Romero is going to be starting this game tomorrow evening, and I think we're going on the experience, because Romero has got the experience of playing in the Europa League and the other cup competitions and that, and he does seem to do really, really well. So it's confirmed that Romero will be starting tomorrow, which I'm very, very happy about. Possibly Phil Jones and Marcus Rojo, could actually, make their first appearances, for the club, this season, tomorrow. They could be involved in the game. Rojo didn't play, he hasn't played yet in the Premier League this season, but he actually, did play throughout pre-season. Obviously, Phil Jones has obviously, not yet played in the Premier League, this season. Rojo's versatility is very, very good. Don't forget, maybe you can actually, put Rojo on the left. You can put him as a wing back. And we know that he's primarily a centre back and that. So he definitely will make alterations tomorrow. So for me, I think Maguire will be definitely rested tomorrow. Maybe probably Lindelof will be rested, and Wan-Bissaka, and that could be rested. So I think there'll be quite a few imperative players rested for the game tomorrow. In regards to Angel Gomez as well, I think he could get given the opportunity, because as far as I know, he hasn't played yet so far this season. Angel Gomez, obviously he did initially say he's going to be a big part of the squad this season. And obviously he's another one of our midfield options. Is Angel Gomez. Despite the fact that Ander Herrera and Marion Fellaini left the football club, we have still got quite a few midfielders in the squad. In regards to Fred, Solskjaer did say at the start of the season that he expects to see better things from Fred this season. Fred came on in the 1-0 victory against Leicester. I think that's the only. I think he's made one substitute appearance, so far this season. But like I did say, Fred is a much better option, than Nemanja Matic, because he's more mobile and obviously better on the ball. I think any of our midfielders now are a better option than Nemanja Matic. That Fred hasn't performed to the same sort of level, as we all thought he would have done. Fred hasn't performed to the same sort of level as we all thought he would have done, to as he did do at Shakhtar Donetsk. Because to be fair, I'll credit him in the aspect I thought he was an exceptional player at Shakhtar Donetsk, but hasn't really replicated this at Manchester United. But never really got the opportunity under Jose Mourinho. So, like I said, he should, if he doesn't start the game, he should be involved in the game. Maybe Jimmy Garner, perhaps could be involved in the game. But it's good that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is giving the young players, a chance. Obviously in that aspect, it will gain them even a bit more experience. Now, obviously they gain the experience anyway, throughout pre-season and that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see, what lineup, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, does go with tomorrow evening. But I think it's a game, Man United are going to win anyway. Like I said, I don't really know much about FC Astana. Obviously, we do know that they are from Kazakhstan. They are the Kazakhstan champions. Obviously, I think they're halfway through their season now, aren't they? I think they are sitting third at FC Astana. Don't forget, this is the first competitive meeting, between an English side and a Kazakhstan side. But recently, we've had a good run in the Europa League. Obviously I know it wasn't in it last season, we was in the Champions League last season. I think we'd been knocked out by Sevilla last season, but obviously a couple of years ago when we was in the Europa League, we won quite a lot of games. So I think it says we're unbeaten in our last 11 Europa League games, but we've actually lost our last 2 home games in the European competition. So obviously I think it did say as well we've never lost 3 in a row at Old Trafford before. So this is a game Manchester United of course should win. But like I said, I don't really know much about FC Astana. Obviously in our group, we've got FC Astana. We have got Partizan Beograd or something like that, and we have got AZ Alkmaar in our group. So really, Man United, should make it to knockouts. To be quite honest with you. But like I said, looking forward to the game tomorrow evening. Hopefully, Man United, can get all 3 points. Like I did say, we're all aware, that furthermore investment is needed in January and perhaps next summer. We all know that, because you can basically, still see the deficiencies in the squad, and you can pinpoint the areas, still where Manchester United are lacking. Credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he recommended, 3 good players into the football club, earlier on in the summer. We spent over £140 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka, and of course on Harry Maguire. And, we have seen glimpses of what, of what good signings they've proven to be, so far this season. A lot of people believe that Wan-Bissaka, has actually, been our most consistent sign. Wan-Bissaka, I think, settled in really, really well as a Manchester United player, just like Harry Maguire has. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka's distribution's good, just like Harry Maguire's distribution's good. And Wan-Bissaka is only 21 years of age, and actually when he was a lot younger, he was primarily a right winger, but as he was developing, he got rotated as a right back. I think he's replicating so far this season, Wan-Bissaka, what he did last season with Crystal Palace, because don't forget, he made his senior debut back in February 2018 and that. But I think if he keeps the consistency up, definitely his valuation will continue to grow. Obviously, he got prevented, from making his England senior debut, throughout the international break. Obviously, due to, a back injury he had sustained. So in that aspect, he had to withdraw from the England squad. I'm surprised he played against Leicester, because I didn't think, he would have been fit enough, to play in the game against Leicester. But what a sign, he's proven to be so far. So I'm happy in the aspect, that, we've addressed, some of the problematic areas. We got that experienced centre-half in. We also got that right back in and that. But I'm just infuriated, that we didn't get that midfielder in, because that I did say that midfield is one of the priority areas. Where Man United do need to definitely strengthen up in January. I think we need to get at least one midfielder, and maybe we even need two midfielders, especially if Paul Pogba is to lead the football club. Don't forget, for the majority of the summer, we was in search for a right winner. But definitely, we've got to make further more investment in January and that. And like I did say, I think, regardless of what happens this season, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job, should be safer for at least this season, because the board knew that they didn't back him enough, throughout the course of the summer. So I do believe the board have assured that Solskjaer will be back in January and perhaps next summer as well. I do believe, the players we was in for throughout the course of the summer, some of them, I should say, will probably reignite our interest in them in January. Probably wait until next summer, for some of the others and that. But definitely, there's still problematic areas in the squad that need to be addressed, and we didn't address all the problematic areas in the summer transfer window. But I did say it wasn't going to happen, because obviously this has been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first summer as Manchester United manager. But Solskjaer said at the start of the summer, that he wanted to recommend 5 new additions to the squad, and that obviously we demanded a summer clear out, and we got that summer clear out. To be fair, around six or seven players have left. A couple of goalkeepers and that have been loaned out. But for me, I still think now there is problematic players at the football club, that do need to leave Manchester United. That do need to leave Manchester United, to be quite honest with you in that. But like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's continuing his policy, of signing British, young British players, because he worked out his transfer strategy early on in the summer, and he did say, he wanted to recommend a number of young players in and that to the football club. So I was reading recent reports, like I said, it did say, we are set to target around 5 British players next summer, and it mentioned it was going to be Jadon Sancho, James Maddison, Callum Wilson, Nathan Collins, and Sean Longstaff. So they're the 5 reportedly we are going to go in for next summer. But yeah, definitely more investment is needed in the squad. And like I did say, I can't see us enjoying a worse season this season than what we saw last season, because last season was a huge disappointment. We finished 6th. Obviously we failed to win in Silverware, and of course we failed to qualify for the Champions League. And I did say in that aspect, that went against us in the summer transfer window, because I did say players would have had reservations about joining the football club, especially them Glasgow players and that. But yeah, Solskjaer, does need more time, to make further more investment, because you can still say, he is in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United squad, like I said. And yeah, he does need to be backed more. And I did say, I hope Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure, can become successful at Manchester United, because like I did say, a lot of people have got doubts about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He hasn't really got the experience as a manager, not really to the highest level. That's an element of concern. And I did say, he wants to bring that fear factor and that winning mentality back to the football club, does Solskjaer, because we know that fear factor and that winning mentality hasn't been there, since the Alex Ferguson and Moreira, it just hasn't been there, let's be honest. But like I did say anyway, I know we've sacked 3 managers, already since the Alex Ferguson and Moreira, we've had different managers with different philosophies, and Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson and Moreira. But I did say anyway, we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers, so I'm hopefully his tenure can work out at Manchester United. It's good that he's trying different sort of formulas, and it's good that tomorrow evening he'll be giving more of the young players a chance. And I think on a regular basis this season anyway, Solskjaer will go with a 4-2-3-1 formation. He'll probably try other formations, but I think he'll regularly go with that 4-2-3-1 formation this season. And I think McTominay, should definitely, keep his place in the team, so I think, he should be starting, the game tomorrow evening, because I think McTominay, has been absolutely fantastic so far this season. Like I do keep saying, if in regards to him being the long-term solution for Manchester United, I have, got element of concerns about that. I don't know if he's got all the attributes to succeed as a Man United player. The question is, can he keep this consistency up? But so far, he has really, really proven himself as McTominay. Obviously, in the majority of the games this season, bar one, he has been playing alongside Paul Pogba in that midfield. Obviously, he was playing alongside Matic in the 1-0 victory over Leicester, but Matic only played anywhere, due to the absence of Paul Pogba. McTominay, I think, is only 22 years of age, so he's still developing. And they'd say we have got a lot of young players that are developing and trying to improve at the football club. But yeah, being very, very impressed there with Scott McTominay, so he definitely should keep his place in the team. Definitely, but I did say, at the start of the season, our expectations this season, will be able to finish in that top four. And I did initially say, analysing it, we're not good enough to win the league yet. Our squad's not good enough to win the league. We're not even good enough to mount a title challenge up. So I don't think we'll win the league for at least, the next 2 to 3 years. Because Solskjaer's, he's still in the process of rebuilding and that. And, I think, analysing our squad, it's definitely not good enough for the top four finish. I did initially say our aspirations, will be that top four in the next couple of seasons. But I did say, I did say, reflecting on the amount of money that's been spent at the football club in the last, 6 or 7 years, we've obviously got players on big contracts as well. And obviously, with the dimension, the history of this football club, we should be up there competing and we should be in much more of a commanding position than we're in now. Despite the fact, we've been inconsistent in the last 6 or 7 years, we are still one of the biggest clubs in the world. We are the most successful team in England historically, don't forget. Obviously, we've won 13 Premier League titles, 7 All First Division, so that mounts up, to 20 titles all in all. We haven't won the Premier League, since 2013. Obviously, that actually came in Alex Ferguson's last season. You can arguably say that particular season, Robin van Persie won us the league, reflecting on the amount of goals and that he scored. But yeah, we have been playing catch up for the last 6 or 7 years. So we have been a toxic club basically. Anyway, for the last 6 or 7 years. But like I did say, I said regardless of our managers, I just don't think anyone is going to follow Alex Ferguson's legacy. We're never going to replicate, what we did under the Alex Ferguson era. And I did say, I hope this team now at this day and age, can replicate what the team did, under Alex Ferguson. But, I just can't see that, happening, to be quite honest. And don't forget, Ferguson, didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United. He didn't win out in his first 4 years. We got him from Aberdeen back in 1984, was it 1985? He didn't win out in his first 4 years. And actually, at that point, he was on the verge of getting the sack, but obviously, it didn't happen. And then obviously, look what he went and look what he went and accomplished. Alex Ferguson, obviously, one of the greatest managers of all time. But yeah, I think, the board, will give, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a bit more time. Obviously, earlier on in the summer, you had the vast majority of Man United fans, criticising the board and also, criticising Ed Woodward, basically demanding the Glazers and Ed Woodward, out of the football club. But I think Solskjaer actually spoken to Ed Woodward when the transfer window was open, about the lack of business in the market, because I believe Solskjaer, spoken about our recruitment policy earlier on in the summer, and, it's not really good, to be quite honest. You're analysing, we haven't been competitive enough in, the last 4 or at least last 5 windows. Obviously quite recently, we didn't get on in January, we didn't, get our number 1 targets last summer. We spent over 140 million this summer, but still, we didn't get enough players into the squad. We didn't get all the players, that we did want to recommend in and that. So that was very, very disappointing in that aspect. That was very, very disappointing in that aspect. But like I did say, a lot of players have now left, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival. Obviously, we saw Antonio Valencia, lead the football club, after he served 10 years at Man United. He left at the end of last season. Smalling left the football club. Despite the fact Smalling left, though, we have still got our 6 centre-backs in the team. Darmian left, Herrera left, Fellaini left, Herrera and Marian Fellaini. Like I said, with 2 long-serving players at the club, Lukaku left. And, of course, Sanchez went out on loan. So quite a lot of players now left since Solskjaer's arrival. Italy, like I do keep saying, has been a popular destination, this summer for quite a lot of our players, because obviously, Darmian, Sanchez, Lukaku and Smalling all went to Italy, of course. But yeah, I still believe as we speak now, these are problematic players at the football club. I think Jones is a problematic player. I think, we need to consider moving Jones on in January or next summer, because Jones has been at Man United 8 years. He's now into his 9th season as a Manchester United player. Jones has, I think he's made over 300 odd appearances for the club in all competitions, but I think, obviously, following the arrival of Harry Maguire early on this summer, Phil Jones has fallen down the pecking order. So I think he definitely needs to moved on. Ashley Young, I think this could be his last season as a Man United player. He's past his sell-by date, and obviously, that's reflecting on his age, because Young is 34. I think he's 35 next year, and he's now into his 9th season at Manchester United. Is Ashley Young. Obviously, he was our first choice right back last season, but obviously now Wan-Bissaka's arrived. He's obviously Wan-Bissaka, who was our first choice right back. like I said, in regards to Marcus Rojo, I think he's a player that needs to be moved on in January or next summer. Don't forget, he was subjected to quite a bit of transfer speculation early on in the summer. Don't forget, Marcel and Monaco and AC Milan inquired about getting Rojo. Don't forget, Everton had inquired about getting Rojo on deadline day. We put around a £25 million valuation on him. Obviously, Rojo's just got under 2 years left in his contract at the football club. I think Rojo's now into his 5th season as a Manchester United player. Obviously, he did play throughout pre-season, but obviously hasn't played so far this season. But again, I think his Man United career has been mainly affected there with the amount of injuries, he has sustained and that. So yeah, I think he's out of favour at the football club. And like I did say, within regards to Nemanja Matic, obviously we do know that he's been subjected to quite a lot of transfer speculation quite recently. I think Matic has obviously infuriated with the lack of playing time and that this season, because I do believe Matic has lost his place in the squad, to Scott McTominay. Where Matic, like I said, he's not. I did say at the time we signed him, I had concern. I had element of concerns about him, coming to the football club. At the time, we did get Matic. I said, obviously he was our third choice signing. Obviously, this was under the Jose Mourinho Moreira, and obviously the club paid around £40 million, for Nemanja Matic from Chelsea back in 2017. So Matic is now into his 3rd season as a Manchester United player, and analysing the majority of his Man United career, I think is being mainly inconsistent as Matic, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. We have seen glimpses in parts where he can perform well, he can pass the ball well and that, but I've got element of concerns about him. He's too slow, he makes that midfield look totally imbalanced. But yeah, so it was confirmed quite recently, as he updated you on my first video I did this morning, that now reportedly 4 clubs are in for Nemanja Matic. So he's attracting interest from quite a few clubs. Is Matic reportedly Juventus are interested in him, Inter Milan and AC Milan and Borussia Dortmund, they're all interested in him. So obviously there's a host of Italian clubs that are in for Matic. There's also a German club, which is obviously Borussia Dortmund that are in for him. But I think either one of them clubs, obviously will be planning to get him on a free transfer at the end of the season, because Matic has just got under a year left on his contract at Manchester United. Well, it is under a year left on his contract at Man United, but we do have an option, to extend it by a further year. And I think Matic leaving, it will be definitely beneficial for his career, because obviously now he's going to find it hard to get back into the team on a regular basis. Obviously, Matic last season was actually our first choice, because obviously our first choice midfield trio last season was Matic, Pogba, and Herrera and that. But Matic has made, I think, 88, 89 appearances for the club in all competitions. I think that's how many appearances he has made, and he is aged up now. Matic, he is 31 years of age and that. And Solskjaer, actually, did say, taking into account, cup games, the Europa League and that, he did say it's not always, just to play. It's not always about, playing the youth. Maybe in certain cup games, you can also consider, playing the experienced players and that. But Matic for me is a player, that basically needs to leave the club in January if we can. Obviously, I think we could try and cash in for him in January rather than letting go on a free transfer, at the end of the season. But we know that Juventus, they did good business throughout the course of the summer. Juventus probably, would guarantee, Matic, success, to be quite honest with you, because they're a good team and that they've got good players. Obviously, they're known for getting, players on free transfers. They did it recently, in recent years, with Emre Can, and, they did it with Adrian Rabiot and Aaron Ramsey this summer. So could that possibly, be Nemanja Matic's next destination? I think Matic, give credit to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, obviously, he's fair firm in the youngsters, but Matic for me is a problematic player at the football club. And I think with Eric Bailly as well, I've got to, be honest about Eric Bailly. Obviously, he's fallen out of favour at the football club. Obviously, it's reflecting on the amount of injuries he's basically sustained. Obviously, we do know he's out until the new year, is Eric Bailly. And it's not to do with it. He hasn't been a bad player for Man United. When he's fully fit, he holds his line well. He's got great potential and that. But he's sustained so many injuries as a Manchester United player. And I think the club would be open to selling him in January or next summer if the right suitable offer came in. We'd probably look to recoup the initial £30 million that we did pay for him from Villarreal back in 2016 and that. So he's another player Man United, could consider, moving on and that. But like I did say, Man United, as I did say, Man United are known for overpaying, are known for spending big on players, and obviously we're known for overpaying for players, because we've done it so many times in the past and that. Obviously, we seem to overpay for players. And then when it comes to letting them go, we let them go for next to nothing. So in that aspect, that's not good business from the football club. And there's been prime examples of it this summer. We did it with Darmian. We lost out on around 9.1 million on Darmian, because obviously we paid £12.7 million for him from Torino back in 2015. He served 4 years at the football club, and confirmed, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago, that we let him go for just over £3 million to Parma. So we've lost out on money there. And Herrera, you could say he was arguably one of our best players since the Alex Ferguson era. He served 5 good years at Man United. Obviously, we paid £29 million for him from Bilbao in 2014, and then earlier on in the summer we let his contract run down, and then we let him go on a free transfer. So there are prime examples there. They are prime examples there, like I currently said. But like I said, I hope it works out under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I will back him all the way. He's a club legend. He was a great long-serving player for Manchester United for 11 years. He did flourish under Alex Ferguson's guidance and that. And he did say on this summer, he believes that, he's following Alex Ferguson's philosophy. But like I said, we have got games coming up thick and fast. Obviously, we've got games coming up thick and fast. We've got, FC Astana tomorrow evening. Then we've got West Ham away on Sunday. Then we do go to Rochdale at home in the Carabao Cup. Again, that particular game, again, we could go with the youth, which I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably will. And, in the game, then we've got Arsenal at home at the end of this month. And obviously we do know that's going to be a tough game as well. So obviously these are all the games now that are coming up. Manchester United, do need to win. So we've got to try and go on at least a 6 or 7 match winning run. I doubt Man United are going to do that, but I'm just hopeful, that we can, do that and that. But like I said, who would you like into the football club in January or perhaps next summer? As we all know, we've identified Jadon Sancho and James Maddison as our number one priority targets, for next summer. We're aware that Jadon Sancho anyway and James Maddison, will cost us a substantial amount. Obviously, we'd probably have to pay in the excess of around 70 or 80 million pounds for Maddison. We'd have to pay probably, maybe around £100 million for Jadon Sancho. So that's around 170 and £180 million there spent on 2 players. But don't forget, we've got the financial power, to meet that valuation. I'd like James Maddison in, and I'd like Jadon Sancho in that. But the good news is, I'm, really, really glad, that Paul Pogba, he's staying at the football club, for now. But I still believe his plans for the future, is to definitely make a move to Real Madrid. So for me, we definitely need a replacement for him if he goes, and I think he's going to go in January probably. If he doesn't go in January, I think it's very, very imminent, he will go next summer if he doesn't go in January. But we will do everything we can to try and keep Paul Pogba. There's still a possibility chance we could renew his contract. There's still a chance, we could renew his contract and that. And if we do, then that's really, really good news. But we're still sticking to our valuation anyway. We're still wanting the region of around 170 odd million pounds if we are to let Paul Pogba go in January. And if that valuation is met, then we probably, will soften our stance, in regards to Paul Pogba and that. But Real Madrid definitely, I should presume, will reignite their interest in January. Because Madrid, were relentlessly, linked with him throughout the course of summer. There was talks about him going back to Turin, don't forget. But I'm glad he's staying at the football club for now. Pogba, don't forget, has played every game this season, bar the Leicester game. He's played every single game. But I'm very, very happy about that. So the main part of this video, was to give you the breaking news in regards to Victor Lindelof. He has signed a new long-term contract with Man United, keeping him at the club until 2024. There's also an option of a further year, so he signed a 5-year deal basically, with an option, to extend by a further year. But yeah, very, very happy about this. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribing, as always, and we'll be back tomorrow with some more live videos, and tomorrow evening we'll be coming on for the match review. So take care, God bless, see you all again very, very soon.